Hey everybody. So I want to talk about a few ways to maintain your, I want to say independence in a relationship, but really just also sort of your sanity. And whenever I say maintaining your independence, I really just mean how to prevent yourself from developing codependence. Obviously, if you're in a relationship, that doesn't mean independence as in being single, remaining single, that type of thing. But it's sort of how to, I guess, more judiciously keep the identity boundaries from crossing over to where you're living for someone else or someone else is solely living for you, etc. And the operative word there is boundaries, okay? So think about all of the milestones, quote unquote, that people reach during their relationships, right? You know, you start seeing each other, you start sleeping with each other, before long you shack up, then you're sharing money, then you're, sharing bills, sharing cell phones, excuse me, sharing, right? Well, common sense tells you to not share so much, but it's easier said than done, because you're going to end up wanting your partner to share things with you, and they're going to want you to share things with them. So where do you draw the line? Well, that's subjective. I can't tell everybody what will work for every situation, but there's a few good ones that I have found that I am fairly vigilant about. Boundary number one, and you wouldn't think it, is your phone. Never give anybody the lock code to your phone. Keep it fingerprint protected. Don't let anybody else go through your phone, right? This is the ultimate shit test for dealing with a relationship. If somebody is willing to escalate to the point of a chaotic relationship over access to your phone, you're in a bad relationship, because that shows lack of trust. And I know this is going to hit home to a lot of people, because, access to each other's phone is now, it's a bigger deal than giving somebody a key to your house or apartment or domicile, right? It's a bigger deal than giving somebody their own key, giving somebody access to your phone, because all of life is now dependent on phones. So why is this such a big deal? Why is this independence? Number one, it forces actual 100% organic trust in each other. But also number two, if it's you, when it's you or somebody else finding the need to desperately get into somebody's phone, that's not a problem. That is a symptom of the problem. And the problem is you do not trust them. There is an issue on which you do not trust this person, and you need validation. Or you're just mad. So when I was dating, I noticed this a lot with some of the girls that I dated, both in my own personal experiences and from the stories they would tell. We've all heard a breakup story about how somebody got into a phone and found messages from another lover, right? So we think, man, I've got to be able to have access to people's phones. No, you don't. If you do not trust them, you do not trust them. Okay? And it doesn't matter if you don't trust somebody, you get into their phone and you look and you don't find anything, you still do not feel better. You feel like you need to be able to check it again at a future point in time. Okay? And the habit of checking somebody else's phone really perpetuates the trust issues that are at heart and the really the root cause of your issues and your problems. Okay? If you have trust issues, no amount of checking a phone is going to help you with that. Okay? It might confirm it, but it doesn't help the issues of trust. Okay? So never give anybody access to your phone. Keep it fingerprint protected. There was a lot of worry, concern about fingerprint identifications when it first came out. I feel it's been fairly well proven and well documented that no, they're not stealing your fingerprints and perpetuating it over the internet. Even at that, it's not as if law enforcement doesn't have a copy of them. So, all that being said and done, don't give them access to your phone. The other thing is, when it comes to money, don't give each other access to the bank accounts. Keep your separate bank accounts. Period. And do not ever open a joint account. That is a huge mistake. Okay? And I'll tell you why. And this is from my personal experience. 2 major life events from my life involving joint bank accounts. Event number 1 was my divorce. And event number 2 was my mother passing away. She had Alzheimer's, and the progression of Alzheimer's while it was undiagnosed, she was having difficulty with numbers and money, and she was, of course, self-conscious about it. She didn't want us to know about it. So she would have some of her friends and coworkers go with her to the bank. Well, the bank she went to was Bank of America, and I'm going to forever dislike Bank of America because of the policies and the way this particular branch was run. This particular branch, the employees got bonuses and performance reviews based on the number of accounts that they opened. So when she would go to the bank with a friend to help her, they would say, whoever this person was, unless you're power of attorney, the only way you can make, financial inputs and do financial actions and transactions and help her is to have your name on the account. But we ended up with like so many different new accounts had been opened with like 5 different names over time that were not my mother. And it's a nightmare, right? So always remember this. Every single bank account that ever gets opened has to be closed. And the lesson that I learned here is that it's better to have one name on the account and then names on the payable on death. So if you're in a significant enough relationship, if you're in a marriage and you want, both of you are together and what's mine is yours and yours is mine, great. Keep your own name on your own damn accounts and put the other person as payable on death. That's what you do. You don't put joint names on an account because there's no reason for it, period. Especially in these days where you can transfer money through every single app. You can send people money via email, okay? But there's no reason for it. However, if you do it, then what happens is your hard-earned money ends up going into the purchases of somebody else, right? And their hard-earned money goes into your purchases. And so that really blurs the line because now, it becomes difficult to distinguish what you actually went out and earned and got for yourself and rewarded yourself with. You lose that identity entirely. And then everything sort of becomes, every financial situation goes up for a vote. And that's not always a good thing. Okay? For example, one of you may want to take a vacation and take the kids to Disney and all of that. The other one of you might be looking at the miles on the car and saying, no, we need to keep that for a down payment because the car is going to die. And one of you might not understand what that means and saying, well, the children come first, the family come first. We can always replace the car later and work with it later. You know, these types of disagreements happen all the damn time. So keeping your money separate, you say, you want to go to Disney? Great, I'm for it. You know, buy it. You know, save your money. You know, or you can say, I can give you this pay period, I can give you, you know, X number of dollars towards it, and we can both put money in a jar and save it. But don't commingle your funds, because not only is it bad financial policy to let somebody else spend your money, it's just you lose your identity. You know, period. Those two things are huge. And then lastly, you know, damn, I had one other thing and now it's slipping my mind. So it's gonna go from a list of 3 things down to like 2 things maybe. You know, those are we're gonna change the video. The title of the video is gonna be a little different than when I started. You know, those 2 things are huge. They're simple, they're huge. If you find yourself dying to go through somebody's phone, that's a problem. You don't trust them, and that relationship's gonna go down a toxic path. And you need to work on yourself. Same is true when somebody's dying to get into your phone. They do not trust you. And they do not trust you for a damn good reason. That reason is really only one of 2 things. Either you have proven yourself to be non-trustworthy, or they have trust issues. Which means either you got something to work on, or they've got something to work on. And providing access to your phone is not part of the solution for that. It is not. Okay? It's actually part of the problem, because like I said in the beginning, the core of the problem is lack of trust. And checking somebody's phone does not magically restore that trust. It doesn't. So, and then, you know, like I just said like a minute ago, keep your own damn money. Keep your money to yourself. And oh, I know what the last thing was regarding money. Charge each other, right? When somebody says, hey, do you mind going to the store and picking up, you know, like 5 gallons of paint for me? Say, okay. Give them the bill. Like, the things that your significant other asks you to buy, bill it to them. And you don't even put it in the form of a bill. You know, you just get on your online app and say, hey, do you mind transferring $150 or send me $150 for the paint? Like, what? You're charging me for that? Yeah, motherfucker, it's not my paint. I got shit I want to buy for $150. Like, that's why you're trying, you know, don't be spending my money. And if they want to get an attitude, go return the paint. Plain and simple. Say, well, I'm gonna go return it then, and then you can go to the store yourself. And they're like, so now you're gonna make, instead of 1 trip to the store, we're gonna do 3 trips. You're gonna go and buy stuff and then go return it and make me drive down there and get it? No, I'm just asking you for the money. But if you're having a shit attitude about it, then I guess yeah. You know? I did what you asked me to do, which was to get paint. I'm not going to just, you know, fart money to the wind for you. You got money, so you spend it. So, I'm out of time. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you like it. Please like, comment, or share, and I'll see you on the next video.